Hello creatives, welcome to the 1% Creative. Like you know, this is a platform for creatives by creatives. And on today's episode, I am joined by one of the finest creatives that I know. She's a sweet soul, and I mean, you get to hear her speak and tell me if she's really a sweet soul, okay? And the topic today we'll be discussing is the things that nobody warned you about as a creative. Yes. I mean, I wish I knew some things, but we'll have that conversation today. And like we do here, we let our guests introduce themselves. So, drum rolls.
Hello.
Hi, Tia.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself.
I'm Thea, I'm 18 and I come all the way from down Wales.
Okay. What kind of creative would you describe yourself to be?
I'd say a storyteller. I know that's really pretentious, but I've really been passionate about storytelling ever since I was really little. Even though I didn't have a TV when I was little, I loved stories and I loved films. When I eventually watched films, they were just stories and characters that I saw, not special effects and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, a storyteller, I would say.
Okay. I mean, I think that I share the same, passion with you. I also love storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's something that also has pretty much kept me on this path as a creative. But I'm very particular about the age bracket, right? Some people say, you're a teenager, so there are certain things you shouldn't, do or not do. But in my head, I'm like, no, I don't think so.
No.
Do you get me? So what would you say are the things that were surprising to you when you discovered it on this creative path that you are on?
I'd say sort of the intangibleness of everything. It's very hard to grasp what it is that you're missing in a story when you're missing something. And I found that out recently. I don't know, the feeling of missing something's quite hard. I was directing a play at my college and I was like, something's missing and I don't know what it is, but I don't know, I'm just feeling it, and you've got to trust that, and that's really quite surprising and quite hard to do, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not like a little, the analogy I have is it's not like a little Lego model. You have all your ingredients and you make it. It's it sort of just comes to you and then you have to experiment and things. There's not you have a final product that you just know how it's going to look. You never know. Yeah.
I love what you said about when the feeling is very strong. As storytellers, and I mean as creatives generally, we have that gut feeling that it's coming. There's something more to this thing, So sometimes it comes off as being a perfectionist, which I think it's okay, especially when you want to give a very fine product at the end of the day, right? So I could relate. When you said that, I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one here. It happens to the best of us,
Yes.
I mean, it's very interesting to know. But what would you say are the hard truths about this part that you had to probably accept before you started?
I think going back to being a teenager and not having your ideas taken seriously, but sort of adults who have more experience knowing better, that's quite hard to accept sometimes, especially as a perfectionist. Because I remember it's just, you can try your hardest, but it's sometimes there's more people with more experience than you, that it just won't come across, the final product won't always be this furnished, your idea completely. It's like a sort of throw in and bundle of everyone else's ideas as well. So you're not going to have that final shot sometimes that you want. I remember in BFI Academy, it was the case that lots of people were quite upset that their ideas weren't coming across and things. But I think it's a collaboration. It's not really you can't hang on to the idea too much as I do that myself.
I get it.
So I think that's a hard truth I've had to accept.
Wow. About hanging on to ideas, sometimes as well, especially as creatives, we feel like we have that monopoly of idea. But you know how something just drops with you, you thought about it and you want to create it. Something similar might drop with me. And the beauty is, we're having the conversation, and you go, hey, this is something I thought about. I'm like, yo, this is something I also thought about. So you bringing your idea and me bringing my idea would actually fine-tune it. Like you said, the final product is not always very furnished or as, we wish them to be. But the good part is if you can, merge those ideas together to work towards the final product and, make sure that it actually comes out very, very nicely. I think that's where the magic actually happens.
Yeah, agree.
You've been on the spot for how long now?
Okay, that's very hard because it's like they sort of all merge. I really, like I say, before I watched films, I really liked storytelling with like C.S. Lewis and like storytellers like that, with Narnia and like Alice in Wonderland, and then his poetry as well. I couldn't tell you. It's been a long time. I think I only got into filmmaking in year 8, so that's when I pursued film rather than storytelling. Okay. Well, not storytelling, writing.
And about film and pursuing film, are you also looking to be in front of a camera at some point, or you just like? Because I know. I knew that was a trick question. I already knew the answer, but I just wanted to trick you into saying something else.
I think about it. I have tried acting, and I'm in complete admiration of you for acting, but it was terrifying for me. I did it once or twice at film club, and I got so nervous I had to go up this lift, and all I had to do was open it, and I just like freaked out every time. It was just so nerve-wracking. I don't know.
And I get it. A lot of people think that it's easy. It's not easy to be in front of the camera. It's not easy to be in front of the camera, guys. Like, even before I started this, it took me a long time, Yeah. And I'd rather be behind the camera. I'd rather be the one, okay, stay this way, stay that way. I'll make you look fine in front of the camera, right? But being in front of the camera is quite a big deal. So what would you say are like the things, like you've had to learn and unlearn on this part, because you're really still young. I mean, we all are young. And I think that the best time to even make do of that creative process that you have is at this age, because your brain is fresh. You want to really give the best that you have. But along the way, you probably, like you said, there are people you need to learn from. There are, a lot of things. So what are those things that you've had to, learn and unlearn because you've started practicing?
There's this idea in the society that like success or whatever you class as success is just going to find you. I don't think that is the case at all. And I think I'm quite grateful I don't think that, especially at a young age, because I feel like it forces me to go get things myself. And success is like a sort of a balance, I think, of hard work and timing. I've had to unlearn what the society has taught me in a sense, which sounds, again, really pretentious. but I don't know, it's not going to just find you. You've got to get up and you've got to keep on doing it. You've got to keep on doing the projects. And I always feel like something I've learned is always to have a project, because it just keeps, even if it just ticks along in your brain for a while and you collect like little pictures on it or something, I don't know, that's what I do sometimes. Nobody tells you how much you've got to get out there and do it for yourself, in a sense. I'd like to think I did it for myself. I mean, yeah, even by talking to people, I think I've got connections that I can do things with.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with you before, so I can attest to the fact that you are a very proper person, right?
Thank you.
And oftentimes you don't get to see that a lot, especially with the Generation Z, right? There's this thing about, we know this thing, want to just do it, want to just keep going. But with you, it's quite different. And I'm saying that because, I've worked with you before and I enjoyed the time we had together. And I'm, of course, looking forward to more times to work with you. Knowing what you know now, how do you merge the concept of success, timing, and discipline, especially as young as you are currently?
Success isn't just a result of time, you know, it's not just a result of like hard work and dedication. I think you just keep on working and keep on connecting with people. For me, that's what I've always done. Keeping up doing what you love, because I mean, it is what I love.
Exactly.
And I mean, the whole concept that, like you say, Gen Z kind of just assume that because it's in their hand, they've got it. Like, it's not really about that. It's not that passive. It's sort of out there a bit more. There's all these like news stories, like Daniel Radcliffe, for example, is like, oh, you know, he just got cast for Harry Potter in the theatre. That wasn't the case, really. Yeah. He was David Copperfield, in David Copperfield and things. It's having the sort of dedication to get you through it to the point where someone recognises it. My success would be creatively expressing myself, though. That would be a dream come true.
Like I said, the people have different definitions to what it is that success. But you saying that for you, success is creating, you know, being in that process, doing what it is that you want to do. That's already like a mindset that would actually keep you moving for the rest of your life. That's really brilliant. Well done. Well done. What would you say are the things that people glamorize right now that, you know, you see differently, especially as a creative? You know, I don't like to, I'm speaking generally because I feel like even our lifestyle is telling a story. How you dye your hair, for instance, is a story. Yeah. How you comport yourself or how you move is a story. So, I mean, people have glamorized a lot of things. But what are the things that in this space that has been glamorized so much that you feel like, nah, I have a different thought or perception about this one?
I think a common misconception is that when you like starting out in the industry, you're going to just straight away sort of go into a good job and it's going to pay well and things, but like obviously lots of it's volunteer work and it's lovely. I love the volunteer work and I can't afford to because I'm living with my parents still. But I think people think they're just going to get straight in and be a director, but they're not. It's a sad truth, but you normally go in at a production runner, like when I met you, and you just learn things from different directors. Like I've learned so many different things from different directors. It's just really about collecting it all. Yeah. And that's why it's so nice to start. It's like you're so young. You have plenty time.
You have plenty time. I love that. And to be fair, right, I like the fact that you said that. But I'm always big on timing. You know, I also tell people, like, I know you want to do stuff, but the timing is also very important. Yes, it's easier for you now to make the mistakes, you know, as against someone who is probably in their 30s or in their 40s. But the tweak to it is, as a creative, I don't think that there's a time limit for you to create or to do something. You know, you can be in your 40s and do something still. You can be in your 50s and do something still. So people limit themselves with that mindset of, no, I've gone past the stage. I don't think anything can come out. And I'm like, no. As much as possible. The only difference is, like you said, you have time. And to be honest, the things you can do between now and the next 5 years, you know, someone else who is in their 40s can do same and probably do it in a shorter time, right? Yeah. But you still do something regardless. Yeah. You know, that's how I think about it. So when people say that's stalling, I'm like, why? Don't limit yourself. We have the freedom of expression. I say this all the time. As creatives, we have the freedom of expression. So let it flow. Creatives, let it flow.
Free for a reason.
So, I mean, you spoke about volunteering, you know, meeting people. It's a beautiful thing, I would say. But how has that also influenced your journey so far as a creative? And what has kept you on this path?
I think a love for storytelling, like as cringy as that is, like I love people, I love voices, like I love stories with like unique narratives and interesting characters, and I'm like, I don't know, I just want to create, like you say. I feel like you saying we have plenty of time, I sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I'm like, go, and I rush myself so much to sort of achieve more than I sort of need to at this stage. Like sometimes it's good to take a break as a creative, but yeah, I sort of treat myself like I'm 30 and I'm like, why haven't I done anything? Like, oh, hang on. But I don't know, I think, yeah, love for storytelling and creating, and I do need to relax and just know I have time. I have plenty of time to do things. But I just so want to make a proper feature film, and that's where I really want to do that. With like good lighting and everything, and yeah.
I'm smiling because I see a lot of myself in you, because I'm like that. You know, I put myself, you know how you put yourself in like many years ahead, because you just want the best, and you don't need to kick yourself in the butt for it, because you just want the best, to be honest, and it's beautiful. Don't lose this energy. I'll tell you, don't lose it, because that's what's going to keep, you know, making you want to create and all of that. And he said something about when you were growing up, you know, your love for people, characters, and all of that. So how has that also influenced your creative process? And what has been the family, you know, support so far?
My family are really supportive of any career path that I would want to go into, and my sister as well. Like, my sister wants to be a lawyer, I want to be a filmmaker. It's like vastly different. And I know lots of families wouldn't be so supportive of that. Like, lots of my friends' families wouldn't be. But they're incredibly supportive. I mean, I came from like a Steiner school, which isn't a mainstream school. It's got like a very alternative way of teaching you. And that's partly the reason I didn't have a TV growing up. I don't know why that was. It's like that, but I think it's something about you creating and it coming from you, rather than just passively receiving it. And I'm so grateful for that, because, like I said earlier, when I then came to watch films, I saw them as stories, and I saw them, and like I watched them to understand rather than, and make them myself rather than just like
fun.
Yeah. And so I think that's what. Like, I'm always drawn to a story. Like, if someone tells me a good anecdote from their week and I'm like hanging on in it, I'm like, yes, tell me more. But I think growing up, because I didn't have a TV, I would create stories and I'd write a ton. I wrote a book when I was 13 and I wrote I made all these little worlds and maps and backstories for the characters, and I just loved doing it so much. And film is just another way to do that. Like, because obviously in writing itself, like, it's like don't say like show, or like show don't tell, that's it. And it's the same with film, so you just can do it with even less. You don't have to say it with words anymore, you just show an apple and it has all these connotations, and I love that so much. It's like amazing.
You're such an inspiration, girl. Like, you're such an inspiration. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well done. I honestly am looking forward to the much things you're going to create. And I think you should put yourself out there. I mean, guys, reach out to this girl. She's a bundle of talents. I'm not even joking. Like, you have this depth that a lot of people need to, you know, get from as well. I know you want to learn, you want to, you know, but I feel like you are self-learning as well, right? And it's beautiful. So the more you come out, the more you actually bring all of these things to the table. And, you know, I mean, you still have to be careful of the people who just want to exploit you. That's also a part. But I think that you have a beautiful depth. And girl, we're going to work together. I am too sure.
I would love to.
I'm too sure about that. I mean, has anything been like a major barrier for you on this part, or has taken a toll either on your health, relationship, whatever it is, especially on this journey as a creative?
So all my connections that really have brought me any volunteer work are up here. And every time I go away, it's like I've got to book accommodation, I've got to like do a lot. And my family have like really supported me through that, because I'm still very reliant on my family. But I'm sort of like between worlds, because I'm taking the gap year and doing a course. I'm sort of like, I'm 18, so I'm independent, but I'm not quite independent. So it's like taken a bit of, I think there's like been tension between me and my parents because of that, which is reasonable, I guess. Normally we get along really well, but I've just noticed it recently. because sometimes I'll come up here for a long time, and it's sad because I miss them, and they're lovely. But like other times I'll just come up here and go back, and it's the sort of rush of getting me up there that just causes the tension sometimes. Yeah. It's a shame, but they're so lovely, and I know at the end of the day they support me, and I support them.
Oh, nice. I mean, I think it's gonna happen with time. I think for me it was also like a bit of a problem when I told my parents that I was going to be on the spot. I was way above 18 at the time, right? My dad was still concerned. Like, are you sure you're going to make a good livelihood from this? I need you to be comfortable. You know, it's a bit similar, but it's quite like there's a difference, yeah?
Yeah.
But there's always going to be that point where they feel like no, or sometimes they feel like okay, but there are other constraints. There's a financial part to it. There's, you know, all of that. But generally, like you said, it's a gift. You just have to keep creating regardless. And parents, thank you for the support so far. But it's what it is. What has been your biggest lessons, you know, on this part? And don't forget, we're talking about the things that you wish you knew as a creative, right? So what has been your biggest lessons, and what would you tell your younger self, that girl who was writing, that girl who was, you know, making sure that she put the characters in place? What would you tell your younger self? What would you warn them about?
I would say film sets can be really stressful. I've seen lots of cases where stress has gotten to people, and because they're also fast-paced, accidents have happened. Not bad accidents, but just careless things that didn't need to happen if people slowed down. I'd say it's really important for everyone, and I would say this to my young self as well, like, prioritize yourself. If you don't feel comfortable holding that camera because you fear you're going to drop it, don't hold it. Nobody I know has done that, but there's very uncomfortable situations. Like, I remember went with you, it was a hot room at the top of a house, and there was like these windy stairs. You'd be out of breath by the time you got there. Yeah. And it's just like, prioritize yourself, prioritize your health, because on a film set, lots of people are just working and like creating, and so in the mind of creating that you've just got to just take time for yourself. And I think as a kid, I was very overgiving, more than I needed to be. I don't know why that was. I just think I had a love for people. But I think prioritize yourself and get what you need, and then you'll go further if you're focusing on yourself and helping others rather than focusing on others and helping yourself. You know what I mean? There's like a balance to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very good balance and really important. Like you said, we get to lose ourselves sometimes in the beat of trying to make sure that we bring something out, you know. So I'm always of that opinion where you're trying to please or you're trying to make something good. Don't also lose yourself in the beat of doing that, because if you lose yourself at the long run, you won't be able to give the much you should, you know, to other people. But what has been like your biggest lesson in this space?
Something quite hard I had to come to terms with was sometimes my best is not enough, and that's just how it is. Like, I remember I volunteered to write a little radio monologue, and I'd never done it before, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, because it was for like a BFI film course project, and I wasn't the script supervisor, I wasn't the script writer, I was the director, so I shouldn't have focused on it, but I thought I'll help out because it was like something that had come up last minute and had time, and I love scripts. So I did it, and I worked so hard on it, drafts and drafts and rewrites, and I kept on handing it into the leader, and he kept on giving me notes, and I kept on handing it back to him. And in the end, I think it just got to the last minute, and he just had to send something else, and it wasn't anything I've written. I don't even know if he wrote it. It was someone else might have written it, but it was heartbreaking because I was like, I worked so hard on that.
I know that feeling.
But it's also like, that's fine. I'm happy with the work I did. I was really happy with how I created it. I was proud of it, but it obviously didn't fit in line with his idea of the narrative, or not the narrative, the storyline. And so I just had to accept that on the screening, and it was hard, but it wasn't that hard. It was like, I'm happy with what I wrote. He wrote a great piece as well. It just so happened it didn't go in. Yeah.
So the thing there is, I mean, things don't always have to go your way.
No.
As well. I mean, even though you think that your best is not good enough sometimes, but realizing that, you know, you can have the best of opinions and it will still not be taken.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't fight yourself for it. You don't beat yourself up for it. It's just what it is.
Try not to.
Exactly. I mean, people have you have your different idea, have a different idea. The beauty is if we can align on those ideas. However, if I say something to you and you're like, okay, I don't think, I shouldn't feel bad because that's your own idea. You know, it doesn't make mine any lesser or any better. Yeah. It's just what it is. So yeah, that's actually like a very big one.
It's a difference of opinion. It's not and that's hard as a creative, I think, because there's no right answer. It's just all perspective.
That's it. It's all perspective. Yeah, people have different approaches, and you don't need to impose yours on anybody else. Like literally, I had this conversation with one of my friends. I'm like, it's interesting we're talking about it now again, you know, but it's what it is. Creatives, you don't need to feel bad when, you know, your opinions are not taken or your suggestions are not taken. It's not on you. Don't feel like you have the worst ideas. No, you don't. It's just, like she said, it doesn't just fit the story. And it's okay not to fit the story, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I think it's really important with the, like, how fast the production process is almost, to just not take it personal, and because it never is.
It's not personal. Yeah. We just, I mean, everybody's fighting for one goal. You know, just like when you're on a film set, right? There's a project. The goal is to deliver the project. Yeah. So whatever we're doing together, it's to deliver the project. So if you're coming with something that is not in line with the project, we're not going to take it because it's not personal. This is project. It's not
as personal. Long as people are getting involved, it's great at the end of the day, I think. Yeah.
Actually.
And that's only when the problems occur, I've noticed. Like, when people feel like they haven't had an opinion accepted, like, or even really thought about, it's just been dismissed and put aside, and then sort of the group kind of shifts, and you're like, oh no.
Well, yeah, that's another angle. You know, not being dismissive of, you know, opinions. I get that part, but then I'm also of the belief that I can say something and it's not accepted, and I'm fine by it. Yeah, it might just shake you a bit as a person that you are. You have emotions, yeah? But, like you said, sometimes our best isn't good enough, and just have to accept it. And just keep working, keep getting better, and that's it. Yeah. Well done. That's really interesting.
It's a hard lesson. It took a lot.
Well done. Have you been able to, you know, learn how to handle even failure on this part and the rejection on the journey? You know, I mean, I would love to hear how you've been able to do that.
Yeah, I guess by accepting that sometimes my best isn't enough, but also that it's not personal. And I think whenever, like the first time I applied for BFI Academy, I didn't get in, and I was like, oh, that's a bit heartbreaking, I wanted to do that. I didn't know much about it at the time, but they gave me, like, sort of, you know the saying, when one door shuts, another one opens. Yeah. It's like, I'm a firm believer in that, because when BFI rejected me, they offered me another project, and they were like, you clearly love this so much, we can't break your heart yet. So they offered me another project, and then the lady who was the director on that and who I shadowed, she then like talked to the BFI leader, because they worked in the same charity, and said, you missed a good one, get her in next time. So I was like, yes.
I love it.
And I don't know, I just, when one door shuts, another one opens. I applied to NFTS Academy through BFI Academy, didn't get in, but I got to work on a film set, 10-day film set, which was the biggest film set I've ever been able to work on as script supervisor, which was way better than that one, because I'd already done BFI Academy. I didn't feel like I needed another course, I needed more experience.
I mean, it's interesting how you actually still, you know, have a very positive, you know, mindset towards even the rejection and failure as it is. And I mean, these things are kind of very prevalent in this space. As a creative, you would fail many times, except you haven't started anything. But if you're on the path already, you're going to fail, you're going to be rejected, you're going to feel like throwing in the towel many, many times over. You know, sometimes you don't even have the zeal to continue. That's why I'm always big on the people around you as well. You know, like it's important to have good people or people who understand your creative process that would help, you know, boost your energy back to what it's supposed to be and enable you create more. So I understand that part, and I don't think it's how do I say it now? It's nothing cast in stone, and it depends on what it is. It can be very minor, it can be very major, but the approach, the mindset you have is actually very strong. That will keep you going for the longest time. So nice. Speaking of the topic now, what are the things that you would tell anyone, younger, same age, older, who hasn't even started, you know, what would you say are the things, what are the warnings you'd give to them before they get on the spot?
I mean, a little bit personal advice for myself, like your friends are going to go on different paths to you, and that's really hard because as someone who is quite a people person, I tend to compare myself to others quite a lot. I don't know why that is, but I think maybe it's the perfectionism, just wanting to be the best of what I can do. Lots of my friends are STEM people and like they quite have straight answers with things. Yeah. If you judge your life by their standards, it's never going to work out. I do that a little bit too much. I'm like, why is it so it's not easy for them, but it feels easy from my perspective that they've got a clear-cut answer and they have like jobs that they can work their way up the ladder quite quickly, and it's to me it appears a straightforward path. It's definitely probably not when you get into the intricacies of it, but yeah, I'd say to anyone, your friends are going to go on different paths. You've just got to stick true to you, and it's hard as a creative to do that because I think sometimes, like again, success is valued as a high-paid job or something like that, and sometimes the creative industry isn't that. Stick to what you like. Like, if you have a passion for something, it will take you far, and it's not about which direction they're going in or anything. And I think maybe I'm thinking about this because all my friends are going off to uni, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'll miss them, but I think, yeah, stick with what you want to do, and you'll see your friends around and make good connections with people in the industry and things like that anyway, and you'll find new friends as well.
Sure. You know the thing about having different people, I mean your circle, imagine having a doctor in your circle, you have a filmmaker, you have a lawyer, you have an engineer. You know how beautiful it is because you can talk about different things. Yes. Yeah? And somehow I feel also that like there's a connection to all of this, you know, career paths and all of that. Yeah. But most importantly, there's also that thing about a creative trying to have the same people who think like her, who act like her in her space.
Yes, that's very important, I think.
It is very important because it's very frustrating when you're telling someone, you know, how there's this burst of idea that you have, and you're telling someone, I'm like, they're like,
how would that work? And then into action movies, and you're like, oh no, I was thinking more niche.
They're like, we don't quite follow. And there's nothing you can do about it, right? So it's okay. You have your friends. It's very beautiful. However, like you said, you're definitely going to make new friends that also understand, you know, your creative process. Because if you're going to be on the spot for the longest time, it's very, very important. Like, it's very, very important. And it's a very valid advice or warning to give anybody. Don't, you know, be in that space where you're overthinking it. I think if there's anything...
A lot.
I think it's something about creatives. We get to overthink a lot.
I feel like we have to make the right choice. Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Yes.
I feel like everything has to be very perfect. Yeah. And sometimes you can't even help it. Like, you don't want to overthink it, but you would just find yourself overthinking it.
Because there is no 2 + 2 = 4. There's this feels wrong, this feels right, how do I fix this? Is this the right fixing?
You get it? Like, it's just that gut, like that feeling that you have. Like, and to be honest, it's not even wrong. It never lies, really. There's sometimes you watch, like, no, this is not it. This doesn't feel right. You know, sometimes we won't have like a lot of backup plans just in case.
I remember like when I was directing the play, I had this like gut feeling something wasn't right. The performance wasn't hitting me. It just felt really like 2D and flat, and I was like, I'm not sure what that's about. So I went up to the office of the drama teacher. I was like, it feels really like, flat. I'm not sure what's going on. She's like, yeah, I watched from my window. It was a little flat. It's like, and I think as a young person, like, it's quite nice because you get to trust that intuition sort of thing. But I really didn't at first, and that was such a realization moment for me. Like, oh, hang on, that's what directing's all about. It's feeling that, and taking it and experimenting which is the right choice. Because that, and don't get too hung up on the right choice, because I definitely do that. But try one choice, try another choice. If that doesn't work, ask the actors questions. It's interesting. And again, they will have solutions as well. I'd never directed theatre in my life before, and I hadn't directed people my age either. So I kept on asking them questions, and I think, because I'm like friends with lots of people who take STEM subjects, it was really reassuring to know that, it was valid. That gut feeling, that was right.
Yeah, I mean, that's also something that anybody can hear or should hear as a creative. Always trust your gut feeling. As a creative, don't downplay it, because if you do, some things might go wrong. Actually,
and you sound nuts saying trust your gut, but it's so true. That's what you were paid for.
No, I'm actually enjoying my time with you, because it's how, like you said, it's not 2 + 2. It's not 3 raised to power. No, it's either feeling right or it's not feeling right.
And it's so nuanced.
We have to make it right. And there's something else he said, don't be hung up on the right idea that you forget to experiment with other things. I mean, that's so profound. That's so profound. I love it. Well done. Well, I mean, we can go on and on and on and on. But for the sake of what it is, I've had an amazing time with you, my darling. And I'm going to have to shake you up a bit. Are you ready?
What are we doing?
Okay. 3 questions, of course, 3 seconds to answer.
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll space it for you. It's not going to be so much of hard work. All right. First question. If you were to invent any ice cream flavor, what will it be? 1, 2.
Okay, it already exists, but peanut butter.
Okay.
Oh, peanut butter and chocolate, how about that?
That's fine. Second question. How would you usually unwind on a cool day?
On a cool day? Watching a series, probably.
Clearly so. I wasn't expecting anything else. All right, third question. If you were to wear one color for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Blue. Yeah, I love the color blue.
All right. Thank you so much, Thea, for being here with us. But before you go, we have a very little present for you.
Oh, you're so kind.
There you go.
Oh, wow. What is this? So,
Open it, open it, open it, open it, open it, open it, open it.
oh my God. Oh, that's bougie. Oh my God. It's got my name. Thank you. I was not expecting that. Thank you. Thanks so much. Wow. I've never had a pen with my name on it.
I'm happy you like it.
Thank you. I will use it and I'll think of you.
Of course, think of 1% creative.
Yeah.
But before you flip back in, darling, this has been with us for the longest. It's part of the show. So you're going to flip to any page, write something you want anybody that gets this book to read from you. Put your name, put your date, and sign. Any page at all.
Should I? Yes. Oh, there we go. That's the one. That's all I could think of fast enough. Very scrappy handwriting.
It's all right. Thank you. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you. There we have it, creatives. I mean, I enjoyed this episode, and I hope you also did enjoy this episode. Thea was such an amazing guest, and she dropped a lot of nuggets, a lot of them that would keep your mind wondering. She said, one of the things she said that I love so much is the fact that success to her means doing what she loves to do. You don't need to compare yourself, you don't need to measure yourself by what other people are doing. As far as you're in your creative element, you're creating, you're being yourself, please do not stop being yourself. And again, something else about trusting your gut feeling as a creative, you have to. Don't downplay it. Like I said earlier, let it flow and you would enjoy the process regardless of all the obstacles or the struggles that come along the way. Especially as a young person, the best time to do anything, experiment, is now. I hope to see you on the next episode. Until then, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, turn on the notification button, and be sure to enjoy all the episodes as they come up. This is the 1% Creative, the platform for creatives by creatives. Until the next episode, my name is Nnenna Alozie and I am a creative.